live from Firemans Field, site of the 36th annual YMSL World Series. Welcome to the Dashless Report, previews of the World Series between U.S. Marshals and Insane. And guys, right now it's very quiet over here at Firemans Field, but in a couple of days, all the media, the trucks are going to be rolling in, and it's going to be a whole different field come Sunday.
Definitely, Bob. I think over 2,000 press credentials were given out already. There's a waiting list for newspapers around the country and around the world, really. And it's just going to be a humongous event.
Yeah, they're setting up the satellite trucks right now, right across the street.
Yeah,
should be a great event.
I honestly think these are the two best teams right now. I mean, U.S. Marshals coming in on fire. Incredible offense. The defense is coming around, and Insane has been in first place the whole year. And Steve Azer is putting up numbers that this league hasn't seen ERA-wise in quite a few years. So a lot to look forward to. We're going to get to that in a moment. And first of all, we'd like to welcome NRJ back from covering the World Cup for YMSL. He was in Cape Town last week.
Our sister station, YMSL Global, sent me to South Africa for the World Cup. Disappointing to see the United States lose to Ghana last week, and more disappointing that I couldn't attend the softball games on Sunday morning. But I did watch everything. You guys did a fabulous job covering the event, and I got to tell you, there's a buzz in Africa right now about the YMSL World Series. I couldn't believe it. So many people coming up to me. Obviously, Ali Marshall is a big name over there due to his commercial. People over there asking me, Ali.
Wow.
Wow. From that commercial with the famous Ali Marshall. So Carlos Abadi is big there because he's an international player.
Yes, he is.
So a lot of people came up to me about YMSL.
How about Dash? Is he big over there with some of the?
Dash is big over there. Not as popular as the other two guys. I'm sure after they see the footage from this weekend and they see how much he interacts with the umpires and the fans, his jersey sales will go back up. But Dash was a bigger phenom a couple of years ago. And now I think Ali and Carlos and other youngsters like that have taken over.
Yeah, wow, you understood off the air. You told me quite a few females have handed out the telephone numbers to pass on to Ali.
Yes,
so
yes.
Could be a successful trip.
If Ali gets it done, because results matter, if he gets it done on the field, this may be a very lucky off-season for him.
Is it because of this production on the field or the RBI commercial?
It's both. I mean, the commercial's not going to take you anywhere if you don't produce on the field, and vice versa. Yeah. So, if he produces and gets this done, I think he's going to have a very lucky summer.
Yes, well, they like winners all over the world.
They like winners.
While you were away last week, so I'm sure you watched the games as you mentioned. So
sure did.
The situation was down 2-0 and came in to play the Insane team. So basically, really, their backs were against the wall. And one thing I got to say about Adam Schulman and the rest of those guys, they were not just going to roll over and lie down and hand it to them. So they quickly got into a 3-0 hole in the first inning. With a Sammy Towell double and a couple of hits, and they battled back and actually took a 4-3 lead into the 5th, 6th inning, and so that team, it was not enough, but obviously it's a very, very good year for the situation.
Yeah, and they battled back in the series before it against you guys. So.
Yeah, well, they upset the Maurice's Pieces. We all predicted they would lose against Insane.
Yeah,
they did. We all predicted they'd lose quickly in Game 3.
Yeah, I think you would have did a lot better than
they had a good year. I know, but they beat us. We're old news already. You're even older news. They beat us, and now they lost to Insane. I think Insane was happy with their draw, and they took care of business.
Yeah, no, they were definitely a team that really, even though it was a 3-0 series, it was definitely a lot tougher than it was a 3-2 game and a 4-3 game. So they definitely battled.
And I got to tell you, Bob, for those viewers that didn't see the recap yet, if you watch the recap that we put up, you'll see their pregame huddle of the situation. Adam Schulman I think broke the record for most consecutive cliches in a row.
Right.
Swords to the neck, back against the wall, up against
one
the
for each
ropes,
other, yeah.
one at a time,
Yeah.
on and on and on. But I guess the message did not resonate with his team.
Yeah. Red was concerned about somebody smoking down the right field line,
Yes.
so he didn't obviously get the message. But we might add, the Red, for the first time since the 2006 season, is not in the World Series. So that's quite a streak that he had going. That he lost out on this year. So that was enough for that series. I mean, it was 3-0 as we mentioned. Now the other classic series was U.S. Marshals versus Killer Z's 2, and that series was 1-1 coming into Memorial 2. And Douglas, you came in. You actually predicted a sweep by U.S. Marshals. So,
Yeah, I was watching their team. I was part of their team for a week. I thought they were rolling along, and sometimes you have the bye, and it's not the best thing for you. So maybe for Killer Z's, cooled them down a bit. So Ali came in and took the next two. First game was close though.
The first game it was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. It was actually 8 innings, and they won. U.S. Marshals won 7-6.
Saban with a big hit.
And but it was a very interesting scenario, that situation. First, it was back and forth, and Lee Zakari tied it up with a home run in the bottom of the 6th, and in the top of the 8th.
Lee Zakari tied it in the bottom of the 7th.
Oh, the 7th.
Yes.
Yeah, bottom of the 7th with a home run over David Arariza.
Team down by 1.
Yeah.
He tied it up, leading off that inning. Tied up.
But in the top of the 8th, 2 men on, and a bracket of actually was it Braca or Eddie Hakeem in a fly ball to put runners at the first and second, the second and third.
Right.
And Ali Marshall stepped to the plate, and obviously no brainer with 2 out, second and third. They intentionally walked Ali, and but out there, this is what's going to separate U.S. Marshals. You pick your poison. Because Saban stepped up, and which is the right move. If you did. But he smoked the base hit up the middle, driving 2 runs and with 2 outs. So
I agree that it's the right move because it also loads the bases, force at any play. If the shortstop bobbles it, he still has to play at third or something.
Now, Ali was up with the bases loaded. I saw that on the Dash report. They have the recaps of those games. He was up with the bases loaded and grounded to second the at-bat before.
Popped up,
Yeah.
Oh,
but you can't pitch
first,
to but you can't pitch to second.
Actually, Killer Z's actually had the lead in the top of the in that inning. It was a 1-run lead, and Saban single put him up ahead.
Yes,
that's right.
So they were actually 1 out away from winning the game.
Right.
And Saban delivered. So
that hit by that Saban had clean hit up the middle.
He ripped it right off the right out the outstretched arms of Yadid into center field, and 2 runs scored, and that was basically.
And nothing happened in the bottom.
No,
it was
they
1, 2,
went
3,
down.
I think.
Yeah, very disappointing to see. I mean, the Killer Z's, they were down by 1 in the bottom of the 7th, and they fought back with the Lee Zakari a home run, and then they scored again to take the lead. But disappointing to see that they just went down 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of that inning. But you got to credit Ali on the mound. For putting the nail in the coffin in that game. You can't talk about this game without mentioning the play that Saban made on that
he did
double
the same
play.
thing in the game that I played, exactly the same play. Man on third, throw to first, double play at home.
And the same play happened for the other team, and Labo threw the ball up in the air.
That's right.
So that unique play
the same play.
caused the game, the same exact play.
100%.
One team did it, one team couldn't.
And we might add, Erwin Cohen, rookie catcher, made a sensational play on that play, very smooth.
Yes.
And Norman's nemesis, Steve Kornman, couldn't handle Labo's throw. And I'm sure Norman was pointing that out very carefully.
Gold Glove candidate Steve Kornman.
But that was the turning point of the game, was Labo made a bad throw, and they couldn't handle it. So, that was definitely a key factor in the game. We almost might add also the temperature was a blistering 96 degrees that day, and
I called read 112.
Yeah.
By the way, that day.
Wow, it's crazy how many weeks we've had with that extreme heat, which may have played
No
a
wind
more
at all.
effect on Red than anybody else, by the way, because he's been in the World Series every year.
Right.
And this year it's just been insanely hot.
So actually, once we get, we'll do the second game, and then we'll get into our position analysis.
Beautiful.